everybody, and welcome back to Singularity Roleplay. Tonight, we are going to have our first installment of Heart of Darkness, a cinematic adventure for the Alien RPG. Lovely cover right here. And I don't have much else in the way of an introduction, I'm to be completely honest. So I'm going to pass it off to my players and let them introduce themselves and their characters, and we'll get into it. Start in overlay order, which is with Janie.
Hi, I don't do introductions very well, or the other way around. So, hi, I'm playing in this game with people.
I suppose we'll knocking on over to Sin.
Hello, I am Sin, Synthetic20 on all the social media that matters. Today I am going to be playing Hector Nelson, who uses he, him pronouns. I use they, them pronouns.
And then we have Rise.
Hello, my name is Sean, also known as Rise, pretty much all over the internet for the most part. Tonight I am going to be playing the part of Lark, who is your friendly, everyday neighborhood, empathic, synthetic individual.
And last but certainly not least,
Hi, I'm Shockpoint Failure. That's usual what I go by on most places online. I am going to be taking up the role of Noor Sajjad, the security officer for this ill-fated mission. And let's be fair here, we all know it's going to be an ill-fated mission. It's in the Aliens universe.
It's not very optimistic, Shock.
Also, optimism has no place in the alien universe.
it truly does not at all.
So I'm just ahead of the curve, is what sounds like.
God,
Head of the curve,
every time
blindly
somebody says that,
delusional.
I just think of the Joker line from The Dark Knight.
What Joker line? Now I gotta know.
I can't remember what it's something like, I'm not crazy, I'm just ahead of the curve.
If it fits, it fits. I don't have a follow-up for that. So you guys are on the USS Catalina. Catalina? I'll fix it in post. You're on a FTL plasma trawler, which is taking you to the Erobos station. If you guys want, spend a few minutes on the ship, or I can just launch right into what's the story.
Fine either way.
We'll just lean into situation, or in other words, what's the story, Mother? You're an international science team handpicked by Wayland Yutani to investigate a new form of life. It's a survey, sample, and essay job, but one where you're offered book deals, benefits, university tenure, and lots of money to accept. You're hastily contracted and transported past the outer rim aboard an understaffed plasma trawler called Katerina. See, I was right. After a 3-month cryo-sleep trip, you've arrived at your destination. The viewport shields in the galley slide open. A swirling whirlpool of pitch black greets you, set against a starry backdrop. The ravenous mass gulps torrents of plasma from 2 unraveling orange globes that were once dwarf stars. This is 26 Draconis, a restricted system that's home to the Ablason black hole. Powerful singularity is consuming both the planets in its path and the system's 2 remaining stars. Whatever life they found out here is in all that. Out there in all that. They're headed for Erobos, an orbiting Weyland-Yutani plasma trawling platform and recharge station. You assemble on the observation deck for hot coffee, the only thing good on the ship, and the breathtaking view. The ship's Bishop-type android, Gray, quietly places an activated modular computing device on the desk. It's from the company, I'm told, he whispers. The module sputters to life, projecting a holographic antique desk before the viewport. A familiar-looking gentleman peers out from behind the monolithic furniture. He resembles the ship's android, Gray, only a bit older and a bit more tired. The man looks right through you and smiles. You look confused, probably wondering why a synthetic is sitting behind a mahogany desk. Understandable. I'm not a Bishop android. I created them. I'm Michael Bishop, Company Director of Special Projects. Recording this August 7th, the year of our Lord 2185, the morning of your departure from Gateway Station. Mr. Bishop's hologram stands before the viewport, gesturing towards the black hole. Magnificent, isn't it? Living in that swirling plasma soup is a xeno-extremophile they're calling the Hasdalen Lights. The lights fit all the criteria for life. They may even be intelligent. Erobos observed them swarming around a significant meteoric mass in the plasma field, so we gave the green light to anchor the meteor to the station for study. Erobos' science officer, name is Clerk, will brief you more on that when you arrive. Now, a couple of safety concerns. First, Erobos is a WY prison worksite. 99 conscripted convicts. Warden Douglas Stikes and his android officers maintain order. Just don't wander off alone. Second, that black hole puts out electromagnetic energies that can scramble your brain, like staying awake during FTL, but much worse. If you feel depressed or paranoid, talk to Dr. Lark. If you start feeling anything extreme, report to the station's medical officer, Webb. He's got meds to help. Now, about these lights, how smart are they? Is there a pattern to their flashes trying to communicate? What exploitable properties do they exhibit? Bishop shakes his head and laughs. Think of all we can learn from them. I only wish I could be there with you. Good luck. And the module shuts down.
Never been a fan of singularities. Too unpredictable.
Well, this just seems like so exciting. I mean, just think of all the wonderful information that we can gather here.
Mm.
Wonderful and terrifying.
Well, Doctor, I would hazard to say that a great many of our people's history has been both wonderful and terrifying all at once. So many discoveries that have led to so many wonderful things. Began in moments of, well, terror, I suppose.
I suppose.
With that, Lark just is going to kind of start circulating around the room, talking, very briefly with people, just kind of, hey, how are you doing? Yes, oh yes, it's very exciting. Well, and just kind of making sure to kind of touch base with everybody around the room, at least momentarily.
You get back is a lot of fascination from some of the other scientists and almost a boredom from your pilot.
And I'm just complaining that they couldn't have any civilized drinks available.
So long as we don't do anything stupid, I'll imagine that, yes, you guys can find something interesting with your new little science project.
My dear man, science is the height of stupidity. It is when it is at its most stupid when we discover greatest things.
Very insightful, Doctor.
You're going to be a serious thorn in my ass, aren't you?
The word you're looking for is problem, and yes.
No, I think thorn in my ass is going to be a better descriptor. Look, all I
Sergeant,
ask.
are you doing all right, Sergeant? Would it help, perhaps, to have a seat and talk things over? Maybe you would feel better. And Lark is going to kind of reach down into like this little bag that kind of hangs at their side and pull out this doll. It's like this rag doll kind of thing with a little smile and button eyes. So if it would help, you could even hold on to Poppet for a little bit.
No. I appreciate the offer, but no.
Of course, Sergeant. That's why I'm here. To make sure that everybody does their best and gets through this the best way possible.
I see. So, seeing that I am babysitting you all, what is the agenda when we finally arrive on station?
Well, I think as you've said it, the agenda is probably changing all of our napkins.
Funny.
Yeah.
Do I need to feed and burp you too?
Only if you don't wish for another black hole to start.
Doctor, would you like to hold Poppet? You seem slightly out of sorts.
Out
Perhaps
of
to having
sorts.
chat over a cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee is the last thing I need. But thank you for your attempt.
Of course.
Not me sitting here, like, checking all of my documents to make sure I'm not making this guy more crotchety than he's supposed to be.
Okay.
Lark will go off and see if they can't locate Professor Hedenstrom just to sit down and have a chat. Nothing important, just kind of get the feel of how they're doing. And
Alright.
Did you mean Hedenstrom or Drabakowski?
no, I meant Hedenstrom
Okay,
specifically.
fair enough.
Looking for your buddy, I guessing.
Mhm.
So, Hedenstrom is kind of compiling what information and data you already have on the station and what's in the space around you. Basic files and information you would have gotten upon entry once waking up from cryosleep. And looks up at you as you approach and nods. Hello, Dr. Lark.
Hello, Professor. I had a question for you.
Mm.
These extremophiles. Just wondering, what sort of things do you think we might be able to learn from them? I'm very curious.
Well, just some of the basic things that we learned is an entity like this is living in extreme radiation. I mean, we are on the edge of an event horizon. So studying them help us understand perhaps how they manage to live in that environment and perhaps teach us a way to accommodate it for ourselves.
Fascinating. Well, if there's anything that I can be of help with to aid you and your colleagues, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to help with whatever I can.
I appreciate that suggestion if you're wanting to check in on someone. I think that looks like Seja is being a little more quiet than usual.
Hmm. Well, then I shall have to make myself available. Thank you, Professor. Your help, as always, is very appreciated.
Of course, Dr. Lark.
And then Lark's gonna go looking for Drabakowski.
Um, probably just walking around, looking around.
Hello, Colonel. How are you today?
I'm fine. Yourself?
Oh, I'm excellent. I'm very excited about all these wonderful new developments that we might be able to find here.
Yeah, they're all really, really exciting.
Professor Hedenstrom tells me that that we could potentially learn a great many things that could be invaluable to the corporation and to humanity.
Yeah, certainly. Are you learning it now?
Well, not yet, but
You should.
I imagine that once we, you know, can find some more information on these very fascinating creatures, that there will be so much.
Oh, yeah, that's a, you know what? That's true. We should get to work on that.
And if there's anything that I can be of assistance with, please let me know. I am here for all of you.
I'm fine right now.
Well, it was a pleasure speaking with you, Colonel.
Yeah, you too. You go and do your work. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. And Lark will kind of wander off, kind of absently typing things into the datapad.
As you all kind of settle in your own respective tasks, uh, Luger, your pilot, says that we're going to start making approach to the station. Looking at the viewport, you can tell that most of the station seems dark, and perhaps there's some external damage. It's like maybe a meteor shower had come through recently. But as soon as you approach, that beacon pops on. But as you start to make way towards the station. Start to go over and decide, okay, how do we want to dock? How do we want to get on the station? Do we use the umbilical? Do we park station side and do a EVA walk? What can only be described as a gravitational shear rocks the ship and the station alike. Glancing out the corner of your eyes, that the thrusters burst on for that for the station to keep it balanced. However, you are not so fortunate. That gravitational shear force was so unexpected that it sends the ship at an angle. Luger hits her head on the dash, and you are in a spiral. It was effectively a spiral. On course to crash.
Oh. Um, Lark will immediately begin moving towards Captain Luger to try to help.
Luger is unconscious. Gray is trying his best to keep steady. Says, I think somebody else needs to take over. Piloting was not what I was trained in.
Is anyone in our crew trained in piloting?
Yeah.
Do you have anything in your piloting? Now, anybody is welcome to make this roll.
Would the piloting be a straight agility roll if you have 0 in piloting?
Yes.
Then who has the highest agility? I have 4.
Say,
All right. Looks like the military guy's going to jump in and try to see if he can help out of here. So, just to make sure I'm doing this right with the system we have in place, do I click piloting or do I click agility for being a straight agility check?
Click piloting.
Okay. So yeah, I go to help keep the ship steady and on course and not crash into a fiery ball of death. Well,
As a failure. Everybody make me a mobility roll. As this ship shudders and goes haywire. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Jeannie, you are taking 2 damage. Everyone else has been mitigated.
Here the dice don't want me to die. This is very inconvenient.
It's unfortunate. So as everyone is scrambling to try to get this under control, and some failing at keeping their head down, and others managing to lean onto something secure and find security.
Where's the damage? Sorry.
It's your health pool.
You said I took 2
Yeah.
and I only have 3?
Yep.
Okay.
That sounds like a problem.
It is in fact a problem.
okay.
Oh, because your health comes from your strength pool, doesn't it?
Yep. Your health is your base strength unless you have a talent that adds to it.
I know that I'm supposed to be engineer. Is there anything that I can do to recalibrate the engines in this situation to, like, give them less gas, make the thing make us go slower, so to speak.
I'm saying this since unfortunately no.
Fair enough.
So careening of the ship sends you crashing right into the station, right into the port side of one of the decks.
Good lord. Not even the pilot is capable.
She
Ugh.
did her best.
Okay. Okay. Sound off. Who's still alive?
Still here.
Barely.
I am ensuring that the captain is currently stable. Is anyone else injured?
Just a little.
Gavkowski. How much is a little?
Mostly. Almost.
Thank you.
I'm going to say you probably
If
have a very nasty head wound.
Yeah.
if I had to put it in game terms, I have a third of my well-being left.
Well, once Lark is satisfied that the captain is not dying, they will move over to Dramikowski, and we'll see if we can't do the same there. Get out the
All right.
med kit.
Take some time and make me a medical aid roll. So everybody add a point to your stress pool, please.
Does that mean clicking the 1 on stress level?
Yes.
All right.
Extra success.
Dose.
All right. All right, eggheads. Thank whatever god you believe in for making sure we survived that nonsense.
Kapakowski, your head is very well bandaged and you have some good pain meds. So you can add 2 back to your health pool.
That add 1 or 2 back.
2 is fine.
Oh, good. Back up to 3.
You are not meant to have high health pools in this game.
No.
No.
I think, wouldn't 5 be the highest I think I've seen?
5, I think, is the highest in this
The
instance. I've seen
pre-gens,
up to
yeah.
7.
Ah, okay. Practically a walking tank at that point.
Yeah. Okay. Where do you guys want to go from here? You're solidly lodged into the station. There's alerts going off for damage across the ship.
I think assessing the damage is an important thing for me to do as engineer person.
Look, we're not leaking Atmos, so we should be fine for a while. Now, if I remember the debrief correctly, this is a prison colony, isn't it? So I want
Yes.
to check with the station, see who's alive, who we need to report to, and see if we can get some help fixing everything. Who's coming with?
I need to get a basic assessment, so I think my presence is required here.
Excellent. All right. Remember, don't go anywhere without a buddy. If they look sketch, they are a sketch.
Sergeant, do you wish me to accompany you, or should I stay and look after the captain and the doctor?
You're the closest thing we have to a medical officer here, and we have 2 wounded. You're sticking here with them.
Understandable. I think that is an excellent decision.
All right.
Is the
Navarre?
case, then who is your buddy?
Hedstrom's still up.
Enough.
All right. So, with that, Navarre and I are going to go into the station itself, see if we can find somebody.
Navarre or Hedenstrom or
Navarre.
Nelson? Nelson.
Nelson, yeah.
Okay. I can do that.
So, as far as getting onto the station itself, you very quickly find that from where you're at, just looking out the airlock or the viewport, there is a fire blazing through the deck that you're on.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Unfortunately, that crash took a little bit more out of that. Um, looking through it, you can tell that it would be a feat to go the EVA route, but the good news is that there is a docking port for the umbilical.
So we
So
Do I
could do
you
think?
something.
could-
Oh, sorry. Do I think that would be a wise decision given the resources that we have to go that route?
It would probably be the safest, but not the most ideal because unless you get that fire out, it could cause some damage with the umbilical itself, heat up the area.
But we
Well,
can't see anything to deal with the fire immediately, do we? It's not
Immediately, no.
okay.
well, let's
What would
go
I
with
have
whatever
to?
the riskiest, most dangerous possible thing is since I'm with you.
You're going to be struggling to keep them alive.
Yeah, Navarre,
They have
please.
a death wish.
No,
You just
no,
want to keep them alive.
Navarre.
Here's the thing. Sin wants this character to die because Sin has been promised a different character if they die that Sin is very interested in playing. Nelson is like whatever the most efficient course of action will be is fine. But in this case, efficient and dangerous go hand in hand. That works perfectly for me.
I'm going to ask if we can make an observation check to see if we can find some way of putting out that fire before we do anything else.
Go forth, do great things.
Thank you.
Should we both roll observation?
If you would like to. So you pretty much unanimously come to the same um, conclusion. For a fire that scale, you're going to want to vent the airlock and clear the entire deck.
Is there any way we can pass a message on to the station to tell whoever's there that we're about to vent an entire deck and warn whoever might be still on there? Or is there no response from our signaling?
No response.
Hmm. Well, that's not
And
comforting. All right. And I take it the controls to venting the airlock, we would have to do an EVA walk first.
yeah, if you want to get to that airlock rather than going to the umbilical.
All right. Okay. All right, come on. Gonna vent the deck, then get the umbilical on, and we should get from there.
Very well.
All right. Hopefully, we don't piss off whoever is in charge of the station doing this. But they aren't answering our phone. So how do we do this EVA walk? You said it would be a feat, so I'm guessing there would be rolls involved.
That would be mobility rolls.
Okay.
Easy peasy. It's almost like you know what you're doing. You make that spacewalk, tether yourself to the station outside of the airlock, and you're secure.
All right. Navarre, if you would do the honors of popping open the airlocks, we can vent it real quick.
It's Navarre you keep talking about. I'm Nelson.
It's just not.
Sorry. Above
Someone I used
board,
to work with.
I changed the character name because
I-
it was not nationality that I am, so I wanted to do
Fair
one
enough.
that
Fair
I
enough.
was.
I apologize. I missed that. That's why I kept calling you that.
But I will go ahead and do the thing. What do I need to roll to do the thing?
Do a psychom check.
Oh, brilliant. That would be a not success.
It's a negative, Ghost Rider. This point feels almost like a lockout. So if you wanted to, you really wanted to, you could probably pry the doors. Just kind of comes down to what you want, if you want to make that attempt or if you want to just bypass with the umbilical and try again from inside.
So to understand where I'm at, we are trying the safe route.
Yes. We're trying
And
the
this and the
most
safe route
efficient safe
has
route.
been locked from me at this point. That sounds like an excellent excuse for me to suggest the unsafe route.
And by your estimation, what would be the unsafe route? The umbilical cord or prying the doors open?
I think the umbilical was supposed to be the other.
It's technically safer, in my opinion, but it comes at the risk of damaging the umbilical from the fire. We were trying to put out the fire first, so we wouldn't damage that. I would
Okay.
imagine prying the airlock open has the risk of, you being jetted out of the
Oh, that
violent
sounds
decompression.
lovely. Let's try that.
Why do I suggest this? I'm not on your side right now.
I'm so sorry that you chose to be in the group with me.
That was your you decision.
It was a you decision, Shock. You knew.
Look, I'm playing the character. The character is responsible for keeping you all alive. So he's going.
I get it. I'm trying to play the character, but also be an agent of chaos at the same time. So it's a complicated balance I'm keeping here.
If anybody wants to know the character that was promised to Sin, you can play a cat in the cinematic. The
Yes.
caveat is you have to die first.
Yes.
And of course, for Sin, that is just an incentive to die faster.
The second it was said as an option, I knew my path in life.
Why am I so sober for this game?
Okay. So what
Okay,
y'all
so
moving
prying.
forward? You
That
gonna
will
try to
be
pry
a
open them? It all comes down to Shock making the decision right now.
so. Here's the thing. I'm of the opinion that if Nelson is going to try and pry this open, I'm actually going to be like looking at the entire situation, not actually paying attention to him, trying to figure out, can we use the umbilical? Will it survive long enough for us to vent it? Is that a smart idea? So it's if Nelson is going to try to pry it open, Nelson's doing it by himself.
Oh, I love that.
So, to clarify, as far as this causing damage to the umbilical, it's more the temperature is going to raise, going to be elevated, and you probably don't want to be in it without a suit because between the heat and the radiation.
Ah, okay. All right. So with that said, and realizing all that, I'm probably going to be turning back to Nelson, trying to still pry the door open, until we could, just try the umbilical.
Very well,
Nice.
very well.
All right. All right, let's go back and get that started. So, do we need to roll anything to set up the umbilical cord?
Give me a heavy machinery roll.
Hey, that's something that I actually have skill in. And I still barely passed. The dice are with me.
All you need is one.
I know, but the dice are with me. They know.
So with a grinding start, the umbilical begins its deployment to attach to the port side airlocks.
All right. Yeah. I take a brief moment to take a look at the scenery while we're still on the EVA walk, and I have the strangest feeling. It's like, yeah, the Singularity is kind of like a dragon's maw, isn't it?
A what?
A dragon's maw.
Ah,
Greedy, just eats up everything, uncaring of whatever's in its path.
up in the command center of this ship, you do get and notice that the umbilical is being deployed.
What?
All right, Lark. We're deploying the umbilical. There's a fire on the deck we crashed into. We're going to use that to get inside and vent it first. Don't try moving the engine until we get the green light. All right.
Absolutely, Sergeant. I'm doing my best to keep spirits up.
All right.
How are
Oh.
spirits in the command center?
Oh, they are doomed.
So, Lark, during this time when everyone else is gone, Lark has been going from person to person, in addition to checking for injuries and all that kind of stuff. Just kind of talking to people and, using that my neat little counselor talent so I can try to reduce people's stress levels and, generally just, things are going to be fine. Sergeant and Dr. Nelson are on things, and I'm certain that we will move past this particularly unexpected event and still be able to accomplish what we came here for. We are in good hands. In particular, since Janie is the only other player down there with me, I would like to try to use Counselor on Drabikowski to reduce their stress if I could.
Yeah, I think that works.
That is a command roll, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
That is 3 successes.
It's a little bit overkill for one stress point, but it works.
A little bit.
Hey, I'm not going to complain.
You
You're in a
actually
great mood
removed
now.
previous stress, all of the stress that Drabakowski, I am never going to be able to say that correctly,
Just,
You
has
just
ever
did.
felt.
just call me SD.
Cool.
No, I'm fine between the good pain pills and counseling. I'm great.
Pain pills and
When
counseling, what people need.
when a moment presents itself, Lark will maybe go over to the controls and see if they can't um, get any information from um, the station, like you know, internet or OmniNet kind of deals. See if I can't figure out what's going on over there a little bit.
So the base thing that you ended up getting was a full map of the station. So you have access to that.
Okay.
Without tapping into its own network first, you can't really assess damage that you can't see externally, which is what appears to be meteorite damage and evidence of the fires um, from there's actually from where you can see there's a portion of a deck that is just completely exposed to space,
Oh,
so they got rocked pretty hard.
call up Sergeant.
Yes. What's up?
I'm not certain if you can see it from where you're at, but from here I can see it looks like at least one whole deck of the station has been exposed. Whatever meteor strike or whatever may have occurred seems to have done significant damage.
Hmm.
I
In your opinion, does it look like external or internal damage?
well, I am I'm certainly not an engineer.
Does it look like
I
it
would
got
guess that
blown
it looks.
out or blown in?
I'm guessing that it's external damage caused by impact with something,
Hmm.
but I can't be for certain.
Is this the egghead cannot be certain, or you honestly cannot be certain?
I mean, I'm certain that Dr. Nelson would be able to tell.
I would need to examine further. Can we do I forget the alien tech. Is it possible to like project things to other people?
Can I send him
Project as in
pictures?
like send them pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, your camera feed from your suit can definitely link up with what's broadcasted in the command center.
Then would I be able to make an observation check on that?
Yeah.
And well, I guess seeing the damage, would I be able to use my analysis talent?
Can if you'd like.
Okay. Then I would like to do that. And no, we whiff entirely.
Oh, what is the range on that?
Roll 20 got the assignment.
So, failure PCs within short range So that would be Sajad. Your stress increases by 1 as Nelson just doesn't know.
I mean, that's fair because now I don't know if I need to be extra careful on the prisoners in here or not.
Well, in order to make the stress make sense, we will have Nelson say, I don't know if I've ever seen an impact like that before.
Look, all I need to know is it an impact or an explosion damage? That's what I need to know. Can you at least give me that?
I will need to get closer to examine.
This is
I,
a whole deck below you.
All right, one problem at a time. We have a fire on the deck we're crashed into. We have wounded. We'll get a closer examination of the damaged deck later. Let's get inside and get this deck vented so we can get this fire and people inside.
Very fair. So, do we need to roll anything to go through the umbilical?
For the umbilical, no.
All right. To now that we're inside the station itself, to vent the airlock at this point.
To vent the airlock, would you like to do to meathead it, or would you like to egghead it?
I mean, at this point, Nelson has been 100% useless. So,
Yeah, I think it's time for a meathead approach.
Are you gonna pry it open?
Mm-hmm.
Now, fair warning: to close it, you're gonna have to pry it shut again, or hope the tech works.
what type of roll would that be?
To close it again,
Well, to open it and to close it.
if we're prying it open, it'd be a heavy machinery. And
Mm.
same thing with trying to close it.
Okay, I am trained in these things, but that hasn't done me any good so far. So,
Your
Yeah,
goal is to just be chaos and die. So do as you wish.
I will make the heavy machinery roll then. And to clarify, I did not get a level of stress myself on that analysis, correct? It's
No,
other PCs only. Okay.
I believe it is others. Let me double check.
Okay. So
Food.
prying open is a success.
all right.
Yeah, other PCs. So not you.
Okay. So should I make another roll for closing it?
After the fire is put out. Oh wait,
Yeah.
no. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
There's a rush of air around you as all the oxygen and the flames just sputter out as everything is vented out in space.
So
Close it
now we
again. You
close.
yeah.
Okay.
all right.
Dang it!
Thank you, roll 20.
These are two completely different reasons for this.
I know.
I'm gonna have to
Shock is
slow
playing
down.
a normal TTRPG. Sin is trying to feral gremlin their way into getting to play a cat. These are two. We are not the same.
We are not the same.
Ah,
So it's going to be a bit before air actually comes back into this sector. But you are now effectively on the station.
okay. So First things first, let's secure the area, make sure while we're waiting for the atmosphere to return, make sure everything's secure, make sure there's no other surprises, and if nothing else, the fire doesn't immediately spring back when oxygen is reintroduced.
Very well.
All right. So I'm now that we're inside and there's no more fire. Can I actually do another observation to see if there's any other threats we need to worry about? Or
Go forth, do great things.
okay. Oh,
Should
well.
I make an observation roll as well?
If you would like to, by all means.
So what happens when I roll panic?
So you roll panic and it will. You just click panic and it'll roll and it'll land on some point on the panic table and you react based on that.
All right, you said okay. There it is. Panic.
7, I believe that's a twitch. Me.
I didn't know the Alien RPG had Twitch integration.
Ah,
I mean,
So 7, yep, is a nervous twitch. So your stress level and the stress level of all friendly PCs in short range of you increases by 1.
great. And I believe that would be Nelson that also gets this hit back with this done, right?
Yep,
I mean, I think in the most technical sense, I'm friendly.
technically. You are a quote unquote ally. So
Multiple quotation marks.
you see the same thing and have completely different reactions to it as there's a what appears to be a human mass in the hallway leaning against the wall. A
Then
person with their
actually,
back to you.
could I didn't ask this before, but for analysis, could I ask one question since I had a success of 1? Basically,
Um yeah, I'll give you that.
is it human or alien?
For the your analysis from the what's in front of you or
Yes.
so somehow this does not unnerve you, but it is very alien as you watch it start to lumber and move and grow to a much taller height than you're used to, and appendages just start falling one
Careful,
after
Sergeant.
another.
This is this is something new.
Nelson, I'm going to say it like this. Right now, I am not a fan of something new.
I think in line with the role, I just have pure fascination.
And I'm pointing a gun at it.
Almost responding to the noise of you two talking back and forth, this thing shifts completely and now it's almost as if is looking at you, but not so much because all you can see is the giant and numerous tentacles. And it starts heaving its way towards you. Very surprisingly, very quick, very heavy.
Let's see if we can outrun a bullet. All right. Oh, how do I roll shotgun?
You just
Shotgun.
click on the attack button.
Okay.
Ooh.
Of course. Of course. The death spiral has begun, folks.
Let's get that panic table up. A 9. Drop your item. Whether it's by stress, confusion, or the realization that you're all going to die anyway, you drop a weapon or other important item. Your stress level increases by 1.
Okay. Now, here's the question. Did I hit?
I think panic means a fail, right?
You can be a mean GM and say it's a mean success. Means I can be a mean GM and say it's a mean success and that you do fire. But the sheer amount of firing that you do is what causes you to kind of startle and drop your gun as it misfires. And it hits, but somehow in all that flesh it doesn't really connect.
Can
This
I make
thing,
another observation roll?
sure.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
this time I panic.
Panic, baby. Thing is moving on you quick.
4.
Or you're keeping it together, even though this thing is barreling towards you.
Okay, so this is gonna be kind of a weird thing. I'm gonna try and push Nelson further away from the thing while I scramble to grab my gun.
So as you reach down to try to grab your gun, this thing lashes out at you, sweeps your legs out from under you. Oh, how many base die do I have to roll? A lot. So you are knocked prone. That gun kind of skirting away from you further. It's 1 damage, and your stress level increases by 1. I do need an immediate panic roll.
Uh, Before or after the panic goes up?
For the stress level, or
Yes,
at the stress point first?
of course.
Seek cover. Use your next action to move away from danger and find a safe spot, if possible. Your stress level is decreased by 1, but Sin, Nelson, yours goes up by 1.
Could I attempt to uh I know this is dumb, by the way, but I'm trying to like play into somebody who is seeing something beyond his imagination for the first time. And I kind of want to try to manipulate it into being less hostile.
Trying to think of what role that would be.
Well, there is a manipulation skill.
There is a manipulation skill. So I'm going to say if
Trying
you want
to
to roll that, you can.
Yeah, trying to like propose myself as not a threat try to communicate. I know this is a bad idea. Sin knows this is a bad idea.
I
But
need
somebody else
somebody on
is...
comms to check in.
So, manipulation. It is a success.
It is a success. In that now its attention is on you. Whether that's a good or a bad thing is up to, I guess, the person's perspective.
Sin's perspective, this is wonderful. Sin wants Shock's character to survive, and Sin's character to die.
All right. So I still have to scramble for cover, which I'm pretty much going to be doing that. And I take it I can't try to just grab my shotgun while I'm scrambling for cover. I have to just move for cover, right?
I'll give you that you can grab your gun.
Okay.
It's a safety net.
All right. So I got the gun and I moved. So I think if I remember the way the system is set up, I believe that's all I can do. So it's now either Nelson's or the monster's turn.
And Nelson is just stepping slowly toward the monster.
Nelson, what the fuck are you doing?
I've never seen anything like this.
All right. And
So
I'm
sorry,
sorry.
Shock.
I'm sorry, but the first thing we need to do when you meet a new thing is examine it on the autopsy table, not try to talk to it.
Say that as you are distracted having this conversation, this hulking mass thrashes out with another tentacle and this time grabs Nelson around the legs. As one damage to you, sir. You are knocked prone. Once again, your stress level increases by 1. I do need a panic roll.
Okay.
As you are then
7.
dragged. 7. A nervous twitch. Somehow that's as bad as it is with you being dragged.
Having 4 dice of stress, yes.
Dragged further into the station.
Does that increase my stress?
Yes. Or the twitch. Yes.
You just hear, and this is Nelson on comms saying, "It's the discovery of a lifetime."
Great, now I have to run after him and make sure you can live long enough to make that discovery of a lifetime. Which I
Doctor,
could
Sergeant, is everything going all right?
stay in the ship. We have hostile life form.
Hostile life form. Is it the prisoners?
Not right now. Trying to save Nelson's dumbass.
Well, I believe in you, Sergeant. Good luck.
All right. So, like I said, I'm chasing after them, and I'm going to try and shotgun this thing in the back to get him to drop Nelson. So I believe that's another attack from the shotgun, right?
Yes, please.
Ooh.
Jesus.
That was a lot.
Bless your knocks.
So for each additional success, you do get a bonus thing that you can do. Which one of them by default is you can add more points of damage.
Mhm.
The rest, I don't remember. I'll be completely honest. Ranged combat. So you can inflict an additional point of damage. You can pin down your enemy. You can exchange initiative scores, which we haven't rolled them. So
Mhm.
Your target drops a weapon or other handheld object. I guess Nelson could count as a handheld object.
In this particular case.
And your opponent falls to the ground or is pushed back.
All right. And how many of those effects can I apply in this particular case?
One for each success after
So
the
we'll.
first one. So
All right.
4.
So it would be very nice if I could get him to drop Nelson, knocked prone, and take 2 points of extra damage.
Okay. So that would be base damage is 2, so 4 damage. Okay.
Right. Wait. What do you mean base damage is
Lets
2?
out a shriek as it recoils.
Okay. All right, Nelson, move now.
Trying to figure out how.
I mean, behind the guy with the shotgun's a good place to go.
Here's a question.
Okay.
I've got 5 dice of stress.
Yep.
Would it be valid for me to mobility my way away, like scramble, and see what happens?
Sure.
Okay. That's no success.
Nope.
10 dice, no successes.
But also
Welcome
no
to the
panic.
Alien RPG.
But also no panic.
I'm gonna play that as him just freezing. I know that's technically a panic thing, but
Would you like that to take your action? I feel
sure,
like since you rolled them in.
because Shock is not in direct danger. If Shock were in danger, I would be trying more heartily to save his character's life.
Not in direct danger. I just shot the thing in the back of a shotgun. I think I have its attention again.
Fair. But you can also leave.
Professional does professional things. It lashes back out at you. You roll my handful of dice to see if it hits you.
Which you is it going after?
Shock because you pissed it off.
Fair.
Shotguns will do that.
Yeah.
1 more damage to you, kind sir, as you are knocked prone. And you
Of
need to
course.
add a stress point and
Of
make
course.
a panic roll.
Of course.
I
Of
told you
course.
guys this was deadly. 11.
And I said,
Is
don't
hitting
threaten
cover
me with a
again.
good time.
Shock can run away. Sin predicted.
Okay. Okay.
At some point, Nelson's just going to be on his own.
Yeah.
So I've went. The monster's gone. Nelson's still stuck frozen where he is, or he's going to attempt to do something.
We could see. I could roll another mobility to see if I have broken out of my stupor.
Go for it. Do great things.
Okay.
You're broken out of your stupor.
I am moving.
What are you doing with your movement? Getting away?
I'm moving away.
All right. Excellent.
I try to be as reasonably bad as possible. Having taken damage, it's no longer reasonable to stick around.
So,
But I do have to open that airlock.
why do you have to open the airlock?
Aren't we trying to get back to the ship? Or
Are
did
you?
we not go through the airlock?
You went through an airlock attached to the umbilical.
Ah, okay.
Is that what you're trying to do? You're trying to get back?
Now I'm questioning myself. Is that what we're trying to do?
I don't remember this being talked about.
No,
Well-
we're just trying to survive, and like the thing charged at us. I shot at it, and now we're in combat.
Fair. I guess I do have a weapon, don't I? Or
You?
do I? I don't think I do. Yeah, I have ranged
You.
combat as a skill, but I do not have a weapon on my character sheet.
Nope, no weapon.
So I guess you're providing cover fire and I'm trying to get us back through the airlock. That seems like the most reasonable thing to me, is retreat back to ship, get help.
That's fair. So, you do that. I move into cover, and then I take a pot shot at the thing.
Okay, so should I make a heavy machinery roll?
Go forth, do great things. Add to the
That
tension.
is 1 success and 1 panic.
Would you like to roll a panic for me?
I would love to roll panic for you, Meg. It's a 10.
A 10. You freeze. But you are started the process of getting the airlock open, and you turn around to see this thing quickly approaching you while the doors are opening behind you. Your stress level and the stress level of friendly PCs in short range increase by 1.
Am I in short range?
Imagine you're, yeah, fairly
Yeah.
close.
Okay. I feel like I'm playing Darkest Dungeon all over again. All right. So, like I said, I scramble into cover, and then I'm going to take a pot shot.
Oh,
It's a hell of a pot shot. Would you like to roll that panic for me?
Yeah, not really.
you're getting really low on your panic rolls.
It's not as lucky. So 9 is again that you drop your item. I'm going to say that again, the gun misfires. But you do have a shit ton of successes, so I'm going to let you go.
All right. So he's not carrying anything, and knocking him prone ain't doing much, but at the very least, it might buy me some time for him to get up and get to me. So I'm going to do that. Knock him prone again, and the rest of the extra successes are going to just be pure damage.
2,
So
4, 4, 5. And then 1 was prone?
yes.
Or with a shriek and a heavy. I don't have another word for it other than slump. This thing kind of falls to the ground and crawls out. After a few heaving um, contractions, it grows silent.
Okay. Okay.
However,
Get that door open.
Acid is starting to seep through this hull below you.
Did you say acid?
Yes. It's an alien universe. It has acid blood.
I do have to make an observation roll, don't I? Like,
Do you?
it is my talent.
Look, I heard it was being described as a massive human limbs. I didn't think it was, a xenomorph. Even though it is the alien universe. I didn't. And that's not
Think of it as
surprising.
like a giant squid. Like,
I'm really fucking curious. Sin is intensely curious about this.
You're a engine. Wait, are you a biological engineer? Oh yeah,
I
you are
do.
biochem.
My talent is analysis, which is analysis of alien artifacts or creatures.
Okay, so yeah, I was thinking you're a different kind of engineer. You're a biochem engineer. Yeah, this would be right up your wheelhouse.
I gotta do it. If it's
do it.
dead. 3 success and panic 1. Now, would I get the questions, and does that cause the panic, is my question.
I feel like that could be a way to play it.
Now, a successful analyze roll does reduce the stress of other PCs. So would
Yep.
Shock get the benefit of that?
Yep. You can
So you
reduce
get
by one.
one stress reduction.
Good, thank you.
So I get 1 question per success, right?
Yep.
Is it dead?
Yes.
What is its purpose? Actually, no. How? What problems could it cause? I think is better.
Okay. Meet you.
Death. Um, and as you can observe from its corrosive blood, if you kill this thing in the wrong place or damage it too much in the wrong place, it could eat through some things that it should not eat through, such as the floor beneath you or an airlock door.
Okay. And last question. I'm going to ask, how does it work? And specifically, I'm trying to do like an analysis, like almost a quick autopsy to see if its xenobiology is similar. Like, are you trying to go for a headshot, for instance? That type of thing.
The question was, how does it work?
Yeah.
It works by, as again you observed, it uses its tentacles to lash out at people and help move it around. What you can guess based on its maw is that it uses that strength and the sheer number of appendages to drag its victim to the maw, presumably to eat them.
Well, I will give that analysis, and in like almost remembering that I have the comms, I will put the comms on so that Dr. Lark can hear this. Talk about a completely alien creature. And Nelson is describing all of this information in almost like reverent tones.
Lark
Like
is recording it.
uh the big thing being just respect for something that seems to be more of an apex predator than a human being. possibly the most fascinating thing I've ever seen in my life.
So I'm giving Nelson a very curious look. He's not so much annoyed that he's praising something that almost killed him, but he's like more, all right, that's a interesting takeaway, an interesting impression.
Oh, yes, the door. Apologies.
Right.
I
Okay.
lost myself for a moment. Should I make
Yeah.
another heavy machinery roll?
No, we'll just say the one from earlier works. So,
Okay.
and you've just got the time to do it. So you get the airlock door back open and can make your way back through the umbilical to the rest of the ship. As for what's going on with the command center, what are y'all doing in this time?
So for the most part, so did everybody else hear what was being broadcast from the other two? You know, hostile creature, blah blah blah, or was it just me?
I think it
Uh,
probably would have been on open comm,
It was an
unless
open
that.
comm. I assume so, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not trying to hide
okay.
anything, and honestly, trying to provide useful information while I am on my mission to die as this character. I want everybody else to live, so.
So assuming everybody heard that, then Lark would be doing their best to keep everyone calm and everything. Meanwhile, entering data into their PDAT, especially once Nelson starts rattling off all this analysis stuff and trying to record all that as best as possible for posterity and later use. Um, Other than that, mostly just monitoring stuff to see if they come back.
And part of the analysis that Nelson will give will include tactical information that long range is probably best for approaching these because of the possible backsplash of the corrosive blood.
Can I make sure that I have weapons now that I know we might be facing some of those? Just like quietly when I hear what's going on, quietly, just kind of, make sure I have a big gun. I don't think I have any, I don't know if I can shoot it, but I'm gonna make sure I have one. Oh, I have a concealed
I
pistol.
am actually amazed that this character does have ranged combat ability, but doesn't come with a weapon. It's
I'm
like
just
it
saying,
was made for me to die.
Okay. So as soon as we were back on the ship and get back to the command center, it's like, all right, so we've already ran into one hostile life form. I don't know how many more of those things are on this ship. Everyone is going to go around armed. If you have any sort of combat or weapons training, you are going to find a weapon and you are going to keep it on your side at all times. All right?
I don't know if I would quite call myself trained, but I have had a time or two where I have had access to firearms, yes.
Excellent. If we have a spare gun, you're going to get one.
Do we have a spare gun?
On the ship, aside from what individuals might have, you have access to harpoon grappling guns, as well as some maintenance jacks and cutting torches. Oh, you do have some pistols. There are pistols on board the ship.
Ah, I feel like a pistol would suit Nelson.
How many pistols do we have in exactly?
On the ship, 6.
Oh, good. So Nelson can get one, Every other PC who wants one can get one, and I can have a sidearm. Excellent.
Lark doesn't even pay attention to the weapons, as synthetic aren't supposed to be able to use weapons. So, um, while they are doing that, Lark is instead looking them over for injuries and that kind of thing. Uh, sitting them down if necessary and seeing if they can't help in that manner.
Oh, and out of curiosity, what kind of pistol do we have? There's a
It
couple
is
listed.
a Rexham RXF M5 EVA pistol. I am adding them to your sheets.
Ah, okay.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not typing out the full name. Don't judge me.
You can actually copy and paste it from the pistols table.
Listen, I'm lazy.
Well, then anyone
Man.
who gets one can do that. It's in the journal tab under gear.
Said Lark was passing on a pistol.
Synthetics aren't allowed to use weapons.
Okay.
Lark.
Though a grappling, the harpoon is not necessarily a weapon, it's a tool. That could be useful.
Weapons, tools.
I'm going to overlook that blatant loophole abuse for now. Grab a harpoon gun.
Everyone knows synthetics have inhibitors. We can't do violence.
Hmm. Look, I have read enough to know that there's a loophole for everything.
Perhaps a tool like that could be useful in some case.
I do believe a synthetic is the least of our concerns in this situation. Call me biased, though, being that my name is Synthetic.
Hey, everyone's sheet should be updated.
All right. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a 10-minute breather, get everybody patched up and ready to move, and then we're going to move into the ship and see if we can find something. This floor is damaged. The floor below is compromised. So we're going to go to the command deck of the entire station, see if we can not hook up with security detail, and find out what the hell is going on from there.
Is it possible that the entity you encountered had something to do with the extremophiles we've come to examine?
I am not equipped to make that kind of a judgment call, and I don't think we have enough information to do so, but there is a possibility.
I would say, even if they are not related, there could be interesting conclusions to draw from their interactivity.
That's for you eggheads to decide. My job is to make sure you guys are alive and healthy enough to make those reports.
Oh, yes, I suppose I was injured.
Speaking of, I'm assuming we probably have extra med kits on board. Because they're like
Yes.
single-use things, right?
Yes, there's plenty of medkits on board.
Okay, so I want to try to use one on each of them, and then you'll probably have a couple extra on me. So if I can use one on each of them to try to patch them up.
And Game Mother, just so you know, I did pick that time frame just long enough for us
Sergeant.
to get some stress relief. As
Yeah, I figure.
So the first
That 10-minute safe zone.
So the first roll was for Sajad, the second roll was for Nelson.
Overkill on Nelson. You're never gonna die.
No!
Can't say I didn't try.
I tried too.
If I have to, I will make it a narrative death.
If
And I
I'm
would
not
also
dead by
like
the end of the episode, we'll chat.
and I would also try to reduce their stress levels as well with
Hang
my
out,
command
talking.
skill. And so first for Sajad, 2 successes.
so that's a
And
reduction of
Nelson.
2.
Ooh,
It's a reduction
nothing
of
for
1,
Nelson.
I believe.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's reduced by 1. So for each success you roll, the stress level is reduced by 1 extra step in addition to the 1 default step. So that's 1 reduction for Nelson and 3 reduction for Sajad.
It's only 1 for. It's not additional successes. It's just 1 additional point. So
That's
it should
not
be
what my
2.
talent says, but okay.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, each success. I did not see that. You're right.
So for 0 successes, does
Zero
it reduce?
successes, you just get the 1 point back.
Dang it. Okay.
Okay. And then there's the whole 10-minute break where we get another reduction of 1 stress.
Yep. So you should be reducing yours by 3 total.
Who, me or?
Yes, you.
Okay. All right, that's all well and good. All right. How's everybody else feeling?
Excellent. There's so much to learn.
Look, are our patients ready to move?
Yes, Sergeant. I believe everyone is fully mobile and as ready to go as we can be.
All right. Do we have a map of the station?
I do. I managed to
Excellent.
download one while you were away.
Excellent. All right, you're on navigation. You're going to guide us to the command center of the station so we can link up with local law enforcement elements.
Of course, Sergeant. It's an excellent idea.
All right. Once again, stick together. Nobody going off down side paths. Nobody traveling alone. If you fall back, speak up on comms. We will stop and wait for you.
Understood.
All right. Let's move.
Okay. So the way this. So you're bringing everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Gray is going to. I think it best if I stay behind and look into what some of this damage to the ship is. I can get in contact with you over the communications and let you know what we fix.
I do not feel comfortable leaving you by yourself.
Why not? I am a synthetic.
All right. If there is anything that happens, especially if you're attacked by another one of those things, you speak up on comms immediately. You understand that, right?
I understand.
Okay. So we'll leave him Graham behind and keep him. And I'm gonna keep moving.
I've got the map and kind of plot a course from where we're going into the station's command center.
So, the way this deck is set up is almost like a fan. And according to what this map shows for you, is that you will have to take a long path down a causeway to get to what is the primary method of travel between each deck, which is nicknamed the chute. Um, so you make your way through this vented area that was previously ablaze, and you find that you are navigating through a cell block, making your way down a path, and is eerily silent. Of course, after getting around that hulking monstrosity in the corridor is a welcome presence.
Is the hulking monstrosity in the corridor still there? Or is it like seeped?
It's partially it's partially like in the floor now.
I would definitely want to take pictures of that.
Fascinating adaptations.
Seriously, I do not want to even comprehend what evolutionary pressures require something to evolve that nonsense.
It must have evolved in an extreme environment.
I don't know. Acidic fluids like that screams predation to me.
Agreed, agreed. But if this is the predator, what could have possibly been the prey?
No, you misunderstand what I mean. Acidic blood and fluids like this strike me as a mechanism for defense against predation.
Ah,
This thing was the prey.
Much like many terrestrial life forms have evolved, well, various toxins and irritants and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
and yet it acted as a predator.
Not entirely
Perhaps it was
surprising.
territorial.
Might have been
Perhaps.
territorial. And let's be honest here. Humans, as much as we love to say we're the top dog, we ain't really all that great when it comes to natural defenses. We were both predator and prey ourselves.
Perhaps we are more alike than we might think.
I don't know. Until it starts using tools, I won't give it that much credit.
You make your way through the corridor up to the causeway. There are two causeways on the Erobos station, decks F and G, the deck below you. Uh, Gravity fluctuations from the black hole buffet the passageway, causing it to sway and creak ever so slightly. As you move down the corridor, the light ahead begins to flicker. Bam. Something has hit the top of the causeway in front of you. A thick shadow squeaks across the transparent. There's nothing. A stress point, please.
For everyone?
Yes.
Of course.
What happens when you get to 10 stress in this system?
You cap out
Cool.
and you
Cool.
suffer.
You suffer.
We love suffering in this house.
I wonder what that could have been.
So I was like, let's just hope it's right. So we made it to the shoot, you said?
Yep. The chute. It's a zero gravity, basically segmented point locks run down the whole chute, and you make your way through 0G to get to each point until you're on the next deck.
All right.
Are we going up or down?
You are going up.
All
And we're
right.
heading up to deck B, which is the operations center.
And we were starting from what, deck F, you said?
Yep.
All right.
We do
All
have
right,
to
we'll
go
go-
up several decks.
We're moving stages. All right. Who here says they're the best at 0G?
I do have some programming on that.
Just my natural skills.
All right.
But I am getting a bit old.
All right. Lark, you're our anchor. You're going last. In case anybody screws up, you're going to come in and help them out. Nelson, go up first.
Very well.
I have 0G training as well.
All right. Then you're next.
Would that be agility?
Mobility.
Oh, that's very success, but
That's a
also
roll.
panic.
That is indeed a roll. This is a great dichotomy.
The dichotomy of man.
Oh, make me that
Oh.
panic roll.
Okay. 6.
You are fine.
Damn it. I'm going to eventually kill you with laughter.
At some point. Will I die before Sin's character does? Stay tuned.
All right. So after seeing all the rest of the NPCs with us, I go, and like I said, Lark was going to be the tail end. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe that is Janie up next for the mobility check.
Yeah. Okay, it says I have a +2. Do I just roll it and then 2?
Just click the name.
0G?
Mobility.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Let me look. Oh, you do have 0G, so a +2 modifier. So roll 2d6 in addition to that.
Okay.
So there was actually a button on the sheet that you can click.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
No, it's under your character name. There's a roll buttons thing.
Yeah. So an additional 6, so that's 2 successes. You scoop through just fine.
All right.
Although Nelson's apparently as weightless as a bird, having just a grand time.
All right. Right. So, like I said, the NPCs go next, then I'd go, and oh, for the love of God, that's only why. Okay.
You're okay. You are fine.
All right.
Do any of the NPCs have issues?
You know what? Let's be fun and roll for them.
That seems like kind of a personal question.
I mean, I am the psychologist.
Hedenstrom. There's Jury. There's Luger.
So we've got 2 failures.
2 failures and 1 mean success. Let's be fun and see what his Jury rolls on his panic. He's fine.
So
But you do
does
have a
that
couple people who
mean
struggle.
does that mean that those of us who are above them are trying to help them up?
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Would that mean that we would make some type of roll for that?
Well, let me see what I get on, like, because if, depending on how many successes I get, I can technically help other people.
Just leveraging to roll as many times as possible to increase my panic.
So I got 2 successes. Which means I can
Yeah, you
give
could-
one to someone else. So which would probably be, yeah, I could help, say, Hedenstrom.
I would love to leverage, like, have you help Luger and leverage the fact that I'm supposed to be a buddy with Hedenstrom, but I haven't done anything to that effect.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
What type of role would that be?
do another mobility.
Oh.
So I'm able to
fun
help.
fact.
You're able to help. You just really are out here trying to scope those panic rolls.
Oh, hell yes, I am. That's a 10.
You lock up and freeze. And unfortunately, that means the stress level of you and everybody else who's in this chute with you
Oh.
increases by 1.
Fun times. Fun times.
It's all of us, right?
That's all of
That
us.
is everybody.
Is that me?
Even the NPCs, because I'm just adding points to them.
Nelson, I know you really have this death wish, but please stop stressing us all out.
You are stressing me out.
It's fine. I've got 4 boxes of stress left to tick.
Okay, so with some effort, everybody makes their way through the chute. Gets snagged at a couple of places as people fumble and can't get their grip, can't get their footing, so to speak. But you do make your way, slowly, surely, to Deck B, operations.
I believe this is the correct place, Sergeant, according to the map.
All
Can I
right.
look at the map at all?
What was that, Janie?
Can I, is my character able to see the map?
It's on my PDAT, my tablet kind of thing.
Okay.
But you're
Can I
welcome to look at it if you want.
yeah, I'm just gonna casually look at it to see if the is the mainframe on the where we are by any chance?
Mother, no, she is not on this floor.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna look and like I'm getting a good kind of idea of where we're going.
Mother is, however, on the on deck C below you.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna lead us on to the operations deck and see if we can find somebody. The briefing said that there were 99 inmates and a guard force of what type uh, of
So the staff, the guards are Stykes is the warden.
mhm.
He has a personnel is his but he has a personal chef that is in fact listed on the personnel. He for some reason wanted that. He but everything else is basically just correction androids under his command.
Okay.
So they're the ones responsible for keeping inmates in check. And then there's Dr. Clerk and Dr. Webb, who are both staff as well.
Okay.
So as far as what is on operations, according to the map, this is where the security muster and armory are.
And have we ran into any of those security androids yet?
Nope.
Okay, that is disquieting. Okay. So, can we get access to said armory, well, guard mustering station and armory area? Or is it?
Yep.
Okay. That's very disquieting that we have that easy of access.
Door is basically open, and you can see why as you step inside and start investigating. The armory itself is completely empty. It's been ransacked.
All right, inmates are in fact an issue. That's great.
It is somewhat worrisome that the armory is completely empty.
Yes, look, thank you for that. Yes, that is very alarming.
It makes one wonder, was the armory empty before or after the aliens came?
Well, perhaps we can find some surveillance footage or something that could tell us maybe what happened here. Is there like a console or anything?
Yep. Within the muster station there is a terminal. It's lit up and blinking. It is
Um,
apparently running numbers.
can I tell what the numbers are? Or like that have are they labeled? Like what are these numbers?
Undetermined at the moment. Although you're finding that here you could also in damage control right outside there was where all the main terminals are. You can monitor everything that's in the station. So the thrusters, the sensors, communications, plasma collectors. You can monitor everything from here.
Sergeant, I believe this console would give us some idea of what else is happening around here. Um, Perhaps it would be best if you come take a look. I feel like you would probably know best what to look for.
All right, I go over and approach the console indicated. Major thing I'm probably going to be looking for is incident reports, odd movements, things like that, as well as, oh, hey, when was the last time that any signals came in and out of this place?
So going through the terminal, you find that. Would you like to activate the holo tab?
You know what? Sure.
So in the center of damage control, a table lights up and the blue holotab map of the station appears. It's got flashing yellow and green sectors. There's, of course, the notice of the Kettering crash. Um, and then it looks like there's a fire sweeping through that port side of decks. Well, now just G and H because you snuffed out the one on F. If you
Hmm.
want any further information, you would have to roll a contact.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Okay. So with some finagling and looking through the settings, you're able to pull up a display of the location of all of the station crew and workers through their PDETs or PDTs.
Mm-hmm.
Seems that a lot of them are spread out throughout the station. Just haven't encountered them yet. There's a number of them on H, and some of them are actually on the starboard side of F that you didn't see. Um, Clerk is labeled with saying that he's in the mother mainframe. Stikes is on deck F. Webb is somewhere on deck H, and there's quite a few of the crew in a few different places. There's about 16 in hydroponics on deck C. There's 24 in the starboard hangar deck on deck G. 21 in the starboard side L block on deck F, and then 20 in the lifeboat bay in deck I. However, there are some other PDT signals. They're labeled differently. Labeled WY Kronos. There's about
Oh,
8 of them.
all right. Does anybody know what a WY Chronos could possibly be?
I am unfamiliar with that designation.
Luger actually speaks up and says it's a ship that they found here couple years ago. USS Cronus. She is very much paying attention to one that is labeled a Luger. who appears to be wandering around on the very deck you're on.
Relative of yours?
Could be. Wow, but could be.
But there was no A. Luger on the staff of the station that we know of, right? This must be one of the inmates.
Luger is labeled W.Y. Cronus. So they are from a foreign location. So the ship, like Luger mentioned.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, they're on this deck, so if nothing else, we can probably ask them to see if they have any answers to what's going on.
Are there any designations for any other alien entities within the facility?
No.
Where was the lab for the it was extremophiles that we were going to be analyzing, correct?
Yep.
Do we see that lab on the layout?
The only thing that you're coming up with is the med lab, which is on deck C below you.
Perhaps we should investigate. Our mission hasn't changed, to my knowledge.
Station is up and running. We have signs that the staff here is somewhere around, but we have not made contact with them. So right now, our objectives is to make contact with the staff, secure the facility, and then we can get back to the primary mission.
Fair, fair.
I do have to agree with the sergeant. Finding out whatever information that we can to ascertain the current situation is of primary importance. Perhaps it would be possible to use the equipment in here to contact the warden via communications network.
All right, we'll get right on that. While we're doing that, Lark, see if we can get in touch with corporate and see if they have any updates for us.
Certainly. Let me see if I can find long distance communication equipment.
So, how would I go about finding the equipment to get in contact with the warden from here?
Simple enough. You can find one of the terminals. The only caveat is that it'll be a written transmission, not a vocal one.
All right, and we came on what ship? What was our name of ship again?
Katerina.
Katarina. All right, so I'm going to send him a message saying that this is
Oh,
Sergeant Sergeant Sajad on assignment from the Katarina, as commanded by corporate. We're trying to get in contact with the person in charge. Please respond.
you were waiting for that. Looking into long distance communication. Can you make a roll for me? A Comtech.
One success.
So you were able to find the long distance communications. You're able to get your broadband message out, but it doesn't seem like you're going to get anything soon. Of course, it was 3 months cryo sleep just to get here.
Right.
And that was even with the FTL. So you're a bit of a ways out there.
Well, Sergeant, I
Just
have been able to successfully transmit a message. However, given the distance that we are from headquarters, I cannot imagine that we will be getting anything back anytime soon.
All right.
But I have appraised them of everything that has happened so far and given them an update on our situation.
All right. So standing
Is
orders there is to continue sending a message out to corporate once every 24 hours, just to inform them that we are still alive and the station is still functioning.
is there another console available?
yes.
Uh, I would like to do some searching. I will message you about.
Okie dokie.
And I don't know if I would need to do a Comtech roll or something else for that.
So I'm going to answer that for you off the bat. You are not going to find anything on these main terminals.
Fair enough. I figured it was a long shot anyway.
So as everyone is kind of looking through terminals, Luger, I'm gonna see if I can't track down that PDT. See if there's anyone living attached to it.
Remember, take somebody with you. Buddy system, whole way.
Uh, Jabakowski, do you want to go with me?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
could follow along if you like. Nothing much that
Do
I can
you?
do here.
It's up to you, Doctor. If you want to join us on this walk, let's go.
Another chance to die. Another chance to die.
I'm a little bit worried because
Oh yeah,
bad luck.
yeah.
Bad luck. I've survived thus far despite trying to die.
This is
I
Yeah,
the
am
but
best
everybody
my
kind
else
of
luck has
around
bad
you
been
is
luck.
suffering.
exceptional.
Exactly.
You do fine. Everybody else is suffering. So after taking tab on where this PDT is, and it kind of seems to be going in a loop around the main floor of the operations. This whole thing is set up almost in a circle, and you can guess that people probably use it to run laps based on the tread marks in the floor. So you make your way to virtually the other side of the um, deck, and come around a corner edge, whatever it is, to see a large viewport looking out into space and lovely view of that event horizon. Um, sorry, the event horizon, and there is in fact some what? standing in front of it. This person, upon hearing footsteps, turns and looks at you. This being is much taller than a human can be. Their skin is milky, silvery white, and almost, well, there's no other word for it than biomechanical. It looks almost like cabling and wires fused with flesh. They stare at you with milky, empty eyes, tilting their head in curiosity, watching you.
I would like to analyze.
Go forth.
Can I just back away?
You are welcome to completely back away if you would like.
Yes.
Nope. Nope.
So that is a success.
It is a success.
I am mostly curious about how does it work if I see any connection between the bio and the mechanical.
It is fused so cleanly that it's hard to tell where one ends and one begins, and just what helps it function, whether that's actual technology or though for the most part you can guess that this is a being of mostly flesh, although severely enhanced if this is potentially associated with the house has been lights. And the question of how has it existed out here? Where did it come from?
Beautiful. Now I should roll panic.
Yes, please.
That is an 11.
11 is seeking cover, so Drabikowski is not the only one backing away.
Does that increase stress or anything?
Let's see. If you have an enemy at engaged range, you have, okay, ignore that. Your stress level is decreased by 1, but the stress level of all friendly PCs are increased by 1.
My stress level is decreased?
Yep, because you're technically running the safety.
Dang it!
You cannot come with me again.
Yes. It's either the best worst luck or the worst good luck.
But before we see what happens next, I think we're going to take a few minutes, take a breather, rehydrate, and grab some snacks if we need it.
That's good.
Sounds like a plan.
Be back shortly, guys. We are left with Drabikowski, Luger, and Nelson. We're faced with an entity that was not quite human, really alien in appearance and nature. That was found to be unnerving. However, this being seems docile, content to observe. In fact, she steps closer. See Janie just shake her head. Nope.
Just
I
step away
am
more.
taking cover and just looking back. What are you?
Luger seems just as transfixed with this entity as it approaches, and
What is wrong with both of you?
Behind cover, there is nothing wrong with me in this situation. The dice determined so.
the dice decided for me.
I'd be right up there with Luger if not. Then there you could say, what is wrong with you?
But Luger and this entity are kind of observing each other, watching, and being seems mostly transfixed by what Luger is wearing, which is you all knows a monogrammed maintenance jacket that she always wears. Luger asks the question, "Who are you?" Doesn't really get an answer, although you can tell that something has happened because she puts her hand to her head, almost like she's getting a sudden headache. And after observing, the entity turns and starts to walk away again.
Can I go up to Luger and try to examine her to see what's going on?
Yeah,
Would that be medical aid?
yeah, that sounds right.
Holy crap. You're gonna have to kill me, Mac.
Next time, next time.
What happened?
Eh, I don't know. I heard a ringing in my head, and then I just started seeing things, and I don't know. It didn't. It made sense, but it didn't.
Also, I've gotten a +2. Should I have put that on that roll? I just realized it though.
You can use it whenever.
And because it's me, could I make it 2 panic dice?
Sure. Let the
Yeah.
chaos reign. Let the chaos reign.
Chaos.
This that would look like the inner workings of a ship. Practically feel the heat on my face.
You're saying this creature had some sort of psychic link with you?
Yeah, I guess.
I'm checking to see if there were any ill effects with that medical aid roll.
Outside of a suddenly onset headache, it seems she's fine. And even then, with that, she's shaking it off pretty quickly.
Are you saying that do you think that it was communicate?
In the way that it could, I guess. I. Where is she going?
I do not know.
I'm gonna follow her.
No.
Abakowski going, nope, no.
Well, buddy system and all.
I think it's a good idea. Let's just not follow.
If you would like to go back, it's not a long distance.
I can't go back by myself.
Just go back with her. I'll be okay. I won't get too close.
And we can't leave you.
Does seem like it would be a problem.
Damn it. Fine. Go back.
Time apparently we need to be in groups of 2.
I guess I can see why we don't want one person to get cornered by one of those things that you killed.
I had no hand in it. That was the sergeant.
Sajad killed then. General you. Let's just get back.
Yeah.
Apologies. If it's of any consolation, I would be enamored with the investigation myself.
Yeah, well, I want to make it back home. You get somebody else to come back with you. It's not going to be me.
Yeah, loud and clear. Ranger loud and clear. Despite looking over her shoulder where the entity had left, she still follows back with you guys. Everybody is back at the damage control.
While they were gone, um, I wanted to try and sync my PDAT with the PDTs of like the station personnel.
Okay.
Wait, I can keep track of everybody.
Okay. Have I received a response to my message?
Not yet, no.
All right.
So you can tell that Steggs is still very much. Well, he was there with his chef on deck F. At least his PDT is reading that. Nowhere to find him.
We have comms back and forth between us, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to radio Sajad then and say, another alien being encountered. This one did not seem hostile.
Excellent. So long as it stays that way, you can stay wherever the hell it is.
It was attempting to communicate.
Did we get what it wanted?
The message came in psychic fragments.
Excuse me, what?
The message was received by the captain in psychic fragments.
I'm sorry. You're going to have to explain that to me. What fragments?
Captain saw images in her mind.
Right. So the captain ran into another alien life form and
Of a
saw
different kind.
of a different kind and saw hallucinogenic messages being beamed into her head.
An attempt at communication, yes.
I'm sorry. I could have sworn you were the scientist here. I could have sworn there was a whole don't make assumptions kind of deal with scientists.
I look at the data in front of me.
Right, and I understand that. I also look at the data in front of me, and I do risk assessments. And I could have sworn we're both on the same page of when you see hoof prints in the ground, look for horses, not zebras.
Fair assessment.
So once again, what makes you think that the good captain actually did receive psychic messages, and this wasn't some sort of hallucinogenic response from the late alien life?
Body language between the two suggested a communication was taking place.
It, body language. Are you? ha-
The creature was biomechanical.
All right, and what kind of assurances do we have that its body languages has any sort of connection to our own?
None.
Sounds like some that you all are jumping to a lot of conclusions real damn quick.
My mind goes where the data takes me.
And all I'm saying is, you got 2, 2, and Y, and you're getting 6. You're working with an incomplete set, my good scientist, sir.
Could be possible.
That that's
And I
besides the
do
point.
want more data.
Yes, like I said, as long as it is remains non-hostile, and you guys agree to observe it and study it from afar, you can get all this data you want. But first, let's go. I need somebody to accompany me while I go find Strike and finally get some damn connections going here.
Fair enough.
All right. So with
And
that,
he'll look back at the captain and say, I hope I did not misrepresent what you said.
Seems like you got the gist of it. So, seems like we've got multiple objectives here, and says she's saying that she's kind of cut off as Gray trips up over our comms, and says I've completed my assessment of damage to the ship. Turns out the crash caused a number of things to happen. It flash drained all the batteries. They're exodizing and corroding. We'll have to replace them. Thruster compression coil is burnt out. Otherwise the thrusters won't work. And of course, we'll need something to cut us free from the station.
All right. So, can my major question then? Can all of that be fixed?
Be fixed as long as you find the spare parts and the equipment on the station.
Lark, while I'm gone, could you see if you can find an equipment manifest for the station to see if they have everything we need?
All right, we'll see what I can find.
Excellent.
As I was saying, we've got multiple objectives. We got to meet up with Stikes. We gotta go touch base with Webb and Clerk about these things. And now we've got to find all these replacements, fix the ship. Split up.
That's the plan. Okay. So here's a sequence. Here's how I want to run this. Nelson and I go meet up with Stikes. Debanowski and Luger go meet up with Webb and the other scientist. Lark and Ijiri, you two stay here. Find the equipment manifest. See if they have what we need and where it is. Everybody stays in comms. Check back in at the top of each hour. We meet back here in say 3 hours at the most. All right.
That sounds
Well.
reasonable. Do any of you have a data pad with you that I might give you the map of the facility?
Would that be a separate item that we would have?
It would.
All right. And before we break up, I'm going to take out my set of PDT bracelets, sync them up with the base, and hand them out. I got 6, as well as a located tube, and I'll see if we can get the local set connected to the located tube as well.
Okay.
Get all synced up.
Mm-hmm.
All synced up. There's a plan. We know what we're doing next. So before we venture off into the depths of this station, I think we're going to call it here for tonight and do our sign offs. Kick it off back in overlay order with Janie.
Hi, at Janie Pot 7570 or Janie Pot Sky, and I am just going to avoid Nelson for the rest of the game. You can catch me back here on Thursday for the second half of this.
That hops over to Sin.
Hello, I am Sin, Synthetic 20, your a resident player wanting to play a cat, but must die first. Uh,
and is failing horribly at it somehow.
Failing awfully. I don't know. Anyway. I will be back here on Thursday. On Saturday, I am going to be over on Nerds with Dice playing in our Masks game, which I'm very much looking forward to. Things are getting wild there, and I am just playing a Thembo that has found themselves in a love quadrangle. And that's really all I can say about that.
Love that for
Next,
you.
I love that for me too, honestly. The third, I'm going to be back here on Singularity with Rust Walkers, again making Shock's life a living hell. Uh, as then I am playing an SCP, and on the 6th I will be over on Lost Caravan RPG, bringing back one of my favorite characters for their recall week, in which we're playing previous characters. I am going to be playing my counter spelling cowboy from the Through the Breach campaign, and I can't wait for it.
Nice.
And I think that's everything for me. Other than, hey, I have a book. It came out, Planescape Archive. It's for sale on DM's Guild. If you are interested in 5e horror content, then give it a ring. I think that's everything.
Guys,
I'm Sean, more commonly known as Rise on the interwebs around here. Obviously, I'll be back here Thursday for our second half of this lovely adventure. Other than that, I got coming up at the end of this month. I am super excited for this. I'm actually going to be running a Old Gods of Appalachia campaign that we're going to be putting on the Lost Caravan YouTube channel. It's not going to be live stream. It's going to be pre-recorded straight to VOD. It's going to be a super lot of fun, and I plan to traumatize a lot of people as much as possible, because that's what you do when you're in horror games. So, other than that, as Sin said, we're doing Recall Week over on Lost Caravan, and I'm going to be on the 10th, bringing back one of my favorite characters, Mr. Scarlet, from our Clue Fiasco game, who is the resident superstar actor, playboy, brainless, pretty thing. So that's going to be super fun. Other than that, I think that's all I got scheduled right now, because Old Gods is going to be taking up a lot of my time. Because it's a 10-episode campaign, so we'll be doing that for a little while. But hopefully there'll be more in the future soon.
All right, I believe that leaves to me. So, hi, I've been Shockpoint Failure. I've been playing the role of Nora Sajid. Crap, I am tired. I know it probably showed up, but I have been awake since 5 o'clock this morning, so forgive me. So the next time you'll be able to catch me will actually be tomorrow on my own channel right here on Twitch, Shockpoint's Failure, where I will probably be playing a bit more Resident Evil 4. I'm trying to finish that game before the end of the month. I don't think I will make it, but nevertheless, I will finish it one way or another. After that, I'll be back here on Thursday with more of Heart of Darkness right here with Meg Mysteria. And then you'll be able to catch me again, still here at Singularity, this Saturday with King's Gambit. After that, it'll be patterns as usual, Mondays and Wednesdays on my own channel. I will also have, Speakeasy Conspiracy next week on. Well, before then, there's also another episode of 117G on the 3rd with Sin and All Seeing Eye, also right here on Singularity. Wow, I am a lot of stuff on Singularity this upcoming weeks. But on the 4th is Speakeasy Conspiracy where we're coming back for the third part of our current little adventures there. So that's going to be fun times. And I believe that's everything that is coming up soon-ish that I feel comfortable announcing now. But yeah, I believe that wraps everything up. Oh, you'll be able to also find me over on Twitter still at Shockpoint62 and Blue Sky at Shockpointfailure. Please check that out. I mainly just post when I do stuff, but it's still nice to know to keep track of what I'm doing.
I guess that brings it up to me. Hello, everybody. I am Meg or Meg Mysteria. You can find me as such on Twitch, on Twitter, on Itch, and Blue Sky. Yeah. I don't think this is going to be only 2 sessions, guys. I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. But we'll figure that out later. As far as what's coming up, where you can find me, I'm done for the rest of this month, except for Thursday. No, that's a lie. I'm doing Thursday for the next installment of this, and then on Saturday the 28th, I'll be on Neon Lights Roleplay with our Trophy Dark one shot. I'm playing a heretical inquisitor. That should be fun. But after that, we'll go back into the normal monthly rotations. We'll have Campers Cross on that second Tuesday, and I believe last transmission will probably be the same week. So if you like sci-fi, if you like me, I get to torment Shock some more in last transmission.
Yeah.
I'm having much more success with that one. Sin's doing all the work for me here.
Hey,
I'm
more
just sensing
episodes
the,
hopefully means more episodes where I get to play a cat.
I'm just sensing this theme of people wanting to torment Shock, so
I don't know why that is.
Here's
Yeah,
the
he
thing.
signed up for this.
In the other one, I'm a character that has the ability to respawn, but my torment of Shock is because he doesn't want me to ever use my abilities. It's not letting me live up to my potential.
So what you're saying is that I should torment Shock.
I mean, you do. As Stray in that exact game.
Well, I have other opportunities that I've not been taking. So
You get to torment Shock as he is your GM for Speakeasy.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I should start tormenting Shock for speaking instead of just being along with make life
We
harder.
broke him.
Yes,
He has
that is
given up.
exactly what you should be doing.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say you made a choice to sign up for this game.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Made a choice, and now he's suffering the consequences at Sin's hand.
Tastes
But-
like torture.
But that's it for tonight, guys. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up and stick around. I think we're gonna be rating Neon Lights, so get to see more of them. Tell them we said hello. Good night, everybody. Informing our stream manager that we're ready.
Bye.
Tech fell asleep.
Bye-bye now. Goodbye.